To build a piece of software, someone has to stand in the middle of the noise. The traditional product manager spends their days buried under an avalanche of Slack threads, endless backlog grooming sessions, and back-to-back alignment meetings. Then, generative AI arrives, promising an immediate escape hatch from this exact type of knowledge work burnout. The tech industry suggests we can simply offload the burden of being the middleman to an algorithm. If an AI model can instantly write clean code, analyze user data, and draft status emails, why not hand over the entire job? Why should a human spend 60 hours a week on tasks a machine can finish in seconds? When you are desperate to clear your inbox, it is easy to forget what actually makes a product succeed, and the desire to escape burnout might be creating a blind spot about the value of human oversight. Researchers at Microsoft recently decided to map exactly what happens when product managers try to hand over the reins. They pulled data from inside the company, surveying 885 PMs, analyzing telemetry data for 731 of them, and interviewing 15 directly. By tracking real software teams, they observed how generative models are actively altering the daily habits of people managing complex software projects. The data from inside Microsoft reveals a friction that contradicts the standard Silicon Valley narrative, showing that handing off the job isn't as simple as pushing a button. Traditional project management software usage remains flat, while generative AI adoption sees a massive vertical spike. People are successfully offloading their heaviest administrative burdens, feeding meeting transcripts into models and asking them to generate technical spec drafts. By clearing out these administrative bottlenecks, product managers gain back hours of their week. The benefit is immediate: less time on the mechanics of the job and more time for the strategy. But summarizing a meeting is not the same as leading one. AI is brilliant at executing the shallowest layer of product management, but that only accounts for the mechanical execution of a task. To decide what goes to the machine, researchers observed the PM delegation framework. The horizontal axis charts risk. Low-stakes tasks get handed to AI. But the vertical axis strictly filters for user empathy. High-empathy tasks are blocked entirely. By applying this logic, managers are forced to draw a hard line. They actively withhold certain high-judgment decisions from the models, no matter how capable the AI seems. This proves that a generative model is not an autonomous replacement for a human worker. It acts as a powerful subordinate, one that requires constant, vigilant filtering to be used safely. When teams ignore that red boundary and push the AI to handle high-risk, high-empathy work, the system breaks down. If you ask a model to draft critical feature requirements, you risk AI hallucinations. A machine's output is always highly confident, and that confidence can disguise catastrophic logic errors in the code plan. Understanding human pain points? The machine fails. It cannot simulate empathy. If you rely on it to tell you what users want, you might build a feature that functions perfectly but solves the wrong problem. Moving at high speed doesn't help if you are traveling in the wrong direction. Efficiency without human empathy is just building the wrong product faster. This brings us to the most severe boundary test of all. If an AI writes a flawed specification and the resulting product crashes upon launch, who gets fired? The researchers found an absolute, non-negotiable rule governing the limits of artificial intelligence in corporate structures. Accountability must not be delegated to non-human actors. This is the accountability paradox. You can delegate the execution of the labor to a machine, but it is impossible to delegate the consequence of the failure. This makes total automation a trap. If you hand over blind control to an algorithm, you are not reducing your workload, you are simply increasing your personal risk profile. The role of the product manager is shifting from producing individual documents to managing a fleet of AI-generated outputs. They are moving from manual doers of tasks to high-level editors of AI agents. This transition does not mean they are doing less work. It means they are doing a different type of work, focused on human judgment, deep user empathy, and strategic direction. Generative AI provides the computational scale to organize a fragmented workload, but when the product ships, the buck still stops entirely with you.